Hello dear students, how are you? I hope everybody is great. We go on talking about daily routines. Today we have Peter's daily routine. Let's look at Peter's daily routine. Okay, firstly we see in the morning 7 o'clock wake up and wash face, and 7:15 have breakfast. At 7:30 get dressed and leave home. 7:45 get on school bus, and 8:30 classes start. And later we see in the afternoon at 3 o'clock classes finish, and 3:30 he comes back home, and 4 o'clock do homework. And lastly in the evening we see at 6 o'clock have dinner, 7 o'clock watch TV, and lastly at 10 o'clock brush teeth and go to bed. Now let's make some sentence for Peter. Firstly we focus on in the morning part. Okay, in the morning let's start our day with the first action. What's that? 7 o'clock wake up and wash face. In the morning we see, and it is 7 o'clock and wash face. Let's make sentence. Peter wakes up and washes his face at 7 a.m. a.m. we say, after 12 in the night we say a.m. until 12 o'clock in the afternoon we say a.m. Afternoon we say p.m. Don't forget. Peter wakes up, wakes. I say I wake up and I wash, but when we talk about Peter and he, she, it, maybe you can use my brother, because my brother refers to he, and Ayşe refers to she. We say third personal s, okay? Peter wakes and washes, don't forget. Now the second action, we see 7:15 have breakfast. Make a sentence please. Peter has breakfast at 7:15. Don't forget, I say I have, we have, you have, but Peter has. Peter has breakfast at 7:15. 7:30 get dressed and leave home. Firstly we get dressed and leave home. Make a sentence. Peter gets dressed and leaves home at 7:30. 7:45 get on school bus. Okay, we get on school bus. Let's make sentence. Peter gets on school bus at 7:45. 8:30. You can use digital way, 8:30. And also you can say 8:30. Classes start. Let's make a sentence. The classes start at 8:30. Focus on here. We don't say, okay, here, starts, no. Why? Classes. Plural, not singular, okay? Classes, they. It's not he, she, or it. If there is only one class, like math starts. But here we have classes, plural, more than one. Okay, let's past 2 in the afternoon part. At 3 o'clock classes finish. 3:30 come back home, and 4 o'clock do homework. Check the first one. Here, classes finish. Make a sentence. The classes finish at 3 p.m. Now, afternoon, we use p.m. Before noon, we use a.m. Don't forget. In the afternoon, okay, 3:30, come back home. Here, Peter comes back home at 3:30. 4 o'clock, do homework. Okay. Peter does homework at 4 o'clock. Don't forget S for Peter. Peter does homework. I do homework. You do homework, but Peter does homework. And in the evening part, let's pass to evening. Here, the first 6 o'clock, have dinner. Remember, I say in the morning, have dinner, Peter has dinner. Here, in the same way, Peter has dinner at 6 o'clock. Peter has dinner at 6 o'clock. And 7 o'clock, we have watch TV. Peter watches TV at 7 o'clock. Okay. The last habit here, last routine for Peter, 10 o'clock, we see brush teeth here, and also go to bed. Let's make a sentence. Peter brushes his teeth and goes to bed at 10 o'clock. Okay, we finished Peter's daily routine. Let's talk about some WH question. What are WH questions? What, who, when, where? Okay, let's make some sentence about them. First one is what. Okay, we use what to ask about things. What do you need? I need a sweet. What does his sister do? She's a teacher. And also we use what time in this unit. What time do you wake up? Okay, don't forget what question. We use what mostly about things. Where? Remember where question. We use what to ask about places. Where are you from? Remember where. Where do you live? I live in Tokat. Where does she work? Don't forget do and does difference. We use does with he, she, it, okay? She works. She works at Movie Star. And when question. We use when to ask about time. Time. When do you visit your parents? When do you visit your parents? I visit my parents on Sundays. You can use day, month, week, weekend, and also seasons. Maybe you can say in winter, in summer. For time expression, you must use. When do you work? I work in the morning. When do you go to school? I go to school in the afternoon. We talk about time. Who? We use who to ask about people. Who do you live with? Who? I live with my family. Who likes pop music. Roberto does. We have two different questions with who. Who do you live with? We use for object, and here we ask for subject. Okay, let's examine this for do exercise. Who, compare these questions here. My mother visits my aunt. Here, subject my mother, and my aunt is object. Okay, subject and object. Who visits your aunt? We ask for subject now. Who visits your aunt? My mother does. Now ask question for object. Who does your mother visit? Who does your mother visit? My aunt. My mother visits my aunt. So for object we use do or does. Now write two questions with who, one about the subject and one about object. Let's practice. Peter helped Sally. Firstly, ask for subject. Peter, how can we ask? Right, we start with who. Who helps Sally? Who helps Sally? Peter. Now ask for Sally. For object, we use do or does. So, who does Peter help? Who does Peter help? Sally. That's okay. Now, remember to use do and does where we use what do you. Okay, we use do for I, you, we, and they. And what about does? Where does? He, she, and it. Also, we can use names. John, Jack, Mehmet, and also Sally for she. Okay, Ayşe. Okay, it for we can use objects or animals or some plants. Okay, the dog or the table. And let's practice matching activity. We have questions here and answer. First question is, where does your mother live? And try to find the answer here. And what time do you get home from work? When do you visit your grandmother? Who gets up at 7 a.m.? At 5 p.m. in Madrid, on Sunday afternoons, and so we have questions here and answers here. Let's match. The first question, where does your mother live? B. In Madrid, we ask for place. What time do you get home from work? What time? At 5 p.m. Very good. When do you visit your grandmother? When? Okay, we talk about time on Sunday afternoons. And the last question, who gets up at 7 a.m.? Sue. We talk about people. Okay, thank you, my dear students. This is the end of our class today. See you on next class. Goodbye.